Not like the jocker has finished his mocker, it's more like the joker has finished his choker. Okay. So that spot colouring might be important. Okay. I've just put a candle in here. As you can probably see, there's a candle. If I get down there really close, there's a candle in there. To the side there for you. And you can see the sand down there. Pretty uniform there. Just going to load it up with, well, I suppose I need to put this in the tripod first. Just going to put that one there for the time being. Okay, just going to, I forgot to inoculate it, as you do, but it's okay to make mistakes as long as you note them, and you can always repeat the experiment. Let me probably put it in from the side. Just put it up one. Yeah, good, fits exactly. Well, that will go down into the sand. The microbes, if they want to live in the sand, they'll go down to the sand if they're motile sort of thing. So I've already put some inoculant in this one in here, so in case you're wondering. So change the scenery. I don't know. You want that? Uh-oh. My leg. One of my legs has gone soft. Which one is it? Strange. Oh, it's that one. Okay. Strange. Only goes soft. That's weird. Okay. Okay. Oh, well, what to see there? I've got a soft leg. Okay. Now the idea here is to probably move these out of the way, and we're going for the sphagnum one now. So I'm just going to put this one here as a bit of a shroud in case we miss a bit. So we're going to get our egg mixture here. Remember the inoculant, that flat looking liquid has come from our discovery of the red organism in a 50-50 charcoal and popcorn mixture. Took quite a few months to get going, but then when it got going, it was, as I said, it was persistent. It's very odd. It's almost like a biofilm or a biomatrix. Once it's there, it's persistent. Whether we can dry it out and it still comes back when it's been dried out, that would be very interesting, considering the nature of our country sort of thing. I might be able to do this better by eye, I don't know. Let's see. Skills, Richard, skills. Almost. We'll get there. Okay, we'll see how we go. I think it might be good enough. Right, now we just have to put it up with some water here. Get it halfway up. Remember, halfway up. We need it up nor down. So the rest is going to be sphagnum, of course, and we work roughly by the same sort of rule, sort of thing. So I'll just put that on there and give it a good old shaky rooney, and we should be ready to put our sphagnum in there, sort of thing. Just wash off the excess, I suppose. Doesn't get in the way. Okay. Now we're ready to our... and of course eventually we will be adding a candle through there into the Sphagnum moss once we got there. Seems to have a dual function. Gets rid of, like the aluminium salts and aluminium, gets rid of the H2S or the the rotten egg gas sort of reaction sort of thing. Of course, if it's aluminium metal or zinc metal or even lead, we found gives off reductive flammable gas. Your polystyrene gives off reductive flammable. That will react with your H2S gas. Powerful reducing agent, of course. That's why it's called reductive flammable gas. So, and there are a number of reductive flammable gas. So some of these bits have got green in them. Will they stay green? Will they become greener? Will they become, red over time? If they become red, will they stay red? Blah blah blah. And once we get this consistency, we'll also put it in a container and grow it as a slab sort of thing. But that's depending on how our cotton wool goes, of course. We might end up growing everything in cotton wool, you never know. More resilient, cheaper of course. Cheaper than buying I would suggest to you. And where does cotton wool come from? It's grown on is it the Atlantic and Gulf coastal plains? Or just the Atlantic coastal plain? And you ask yourself the question is, how do they keep things like tobacco, that also grows on the Atlantic coastal plain, how do they keep it that sort of yellow-green colour, that sort of sickly looking green? I mean, have we seen fly traps with that sort of sickly looking colour? So, ask yourself there. And I think quite a lot of the dots are starting to coalesce and come together. But we'll see how we go with this. How quickly the fact that this is sort of like also inoculated in a way, if this has got a symbiotic organism in it, and it's green, is it already got the organism? So, in other words, what I'm really saying is the green organism in the sphagnum is actually the red organism, but it's in a different state. And hopefully going to this solution, it will convert back to its red state. You never know, it might not, it might go blue. I mean, as I was trying to suggest yesterday, if you do some reading online about cyanophyta, it's supposed to have at least, I think, 3 chromophores or chromatophores, I've forgotten how they term it, part of their photosynthetic system or something. And by switching, having combination of those on or off, you get the different colours, you see. And in one particular state, you get blue, of course, you see, because they don't state how to do that, of course. Either they don't know or they don't want to let on, I don't know. And maybe it is in some deep scientific journey, you've got to pay, $100 a year as an annual subscription or something, or it's behind a firewall. I think Trump's going to be doing away with those. Freedom of the press. I mean, you may have to be able to have a private system, but I think basically what's really happened is all this crap, this so-called in quotes political correctness, but all this crap is being able to go along and just look how quickly this thing happened. He cut the funding on PBS, I think it was PBS, could have been and suddenly overnight this, it must have been like a lightning bolt to him. Suddenly they realise, well, hang on, you cut the funding, that means there's going to be a list of people who's going to stay there because we can't afford everyone here, Some of you bozos there don't even do any work, Call yourself a reporter. Bought it in a shop, yeah. It's can you imagine what Michael Flanders would have said, and the Edith Blyton of the keyboard. Oh yes, I actually saw him on a train once, yeah. So, so he gave the nod that that I recognised him, but it was like a nod and a wink, so yes, I definitely am him. You've recognised me, sort of thing. So it was rather kind of him, nice of him to do. But I think he was a bit of a shy person, sort of thing. Reserved, I think is the word they use for it. So yeah. Oh well. Anyway, we'll see how we go, but as you can probably see, it's about halfway there basically, so we'll see what happens. Could turn it into a complete stinking mess, but then again we might learn something from that, maybe to have the organism in the red state is the wrong way round, sort of thing. Because because I've seen the moss, I've seen sphagnum moss online, and it has a more almost a yellowy, sometimes orangey almost look. And I can convert this organ into that sort of colour if you add a bit of bicarb to the situation. I've noticed that it goes from the green to this sort of yellowy, sort of almost orangey sort of state. Whether that's what they're doing, they're adding the bicarb, thinking they're adding from the carbon side of things. You know, these are photosynthetic organisms. We've got to add some carbon to them, sort of thing. But I think it's more from the pH side of things, of course. They did talk on one of the programs, one of our gardening programs here, that you can actually make plants go a funny sort of green colour by adding, what was it? It was sodium carbonate or something, you know, which is very highly alkaline. It's really basically sodium hydroxide and sort of bicarbonate in a way, because, you know, when you do it, you get all this fizzing coming off, of course. So it's very, very alkaline. So. But then again, as I said, most of the things to do with CP seem to be in the wrong end of all my books. When you do find them, say, hang on, that's right, yes. Oh, geez, we're in the alkaline section of the book. How come we're over all the things to do with CPs? But then again, we do have a whole genus, well, part of a genus. The Mexican pinguiculas are supposed to be aren't perturbed by alkaline conditions, and they also can actually and be stimulated to by granular chalk. Yeah, that's calcium sulfate, not carbonate. They don't like calcium carbonate as much as chalk, and they find magnesium calcium carbonate, or the dolomite limestone, even worse. But then again, we've seen some of the Minkawa sundew out with a sort of lens of dolomite limestone there. So, as I said, it seems to be the negatives somehow have some involvement to get to the positive sort of thing. There's something there, and we haven't cracked it, and it must be really special over there in WA, but they do say that all those sands or soils or around Perth are zinc rich. So you might want to think about that. So is that the key? We have found that this organism it does seem to be stimulated by various forms of zinc. So we've tried, so far the best one to do it in the bottles is zinc oxide, and we found that titanium oxide, or titanium dioxide, titanium rather than titanium, I was saying titanium the other day for some reason, titanium, it seems to be better in the long term, and it gets darker and richer sort of thing, because we do have a lot of titanium up in the Northern Territory. And what do we have up in the Northern Territory? We have the giant-sized pigs or something, you know, the land of the giant pigs, you know, the Petiolaris complex, I think. So you might want to stick that in your back burner as well, and just think about that. So how are we going for time, fellas? Let's just look in the monitor there. Well, got a few more minutes down to. Let's check that it is actually going. Yeah, we've got the light going. Probably the next thing is the bat. Oh yeah, the battery ran out the other day, by the way, fellas. I was looking at that pod of fly traps over there, and the battery ran out. I tried to push it, fellas. I'm probably going to have to buy, if I get to WA or something, I'm probably going to have to buy another battery to replace that one we lost in the bush. I reckon I need at least 3 batteries, probably 5 cards, 4 cards for the day, and a safety net one in case because one's going to bugger up. If I buy exactly 4 cards to do the day somewhere, if I get to do a trip to WA, and one of those cards is going to either break the tang off, or it's going to stuff up for some, you know, for a Bill Gates reason. Have you noticed we haven't heard from Bill Gates in the last few weeks? He seems like have disappeared off the planet. Maybe he's down at Gitmo. Get your ass down to Gitmo, boy. One of these generals has been pissed off by that paperclip thing. He says, your ass is mine, your ass is grass, your ass is mine. Get your ass down to Gitmo. Maybe that's what that pickup was all about. Apparently they diverted was it American Airlines? Something Airlines, AA Airlines. Was it American Airways or something like that? Somehow it just took off and it ended up down at Gitmo. Oh, jeez. We're now diverting this flight to Gitmo. I think 1 or 2 people on board were a bit. You know how they would do that. Of course, it's quite simple. Everyone else on the flight is working for the army. Well, it has to be the army because all these other places are now compromised, aren't they? they're all they're all part of the deep state. The only people you can trust are people and branches that picked out by